Welcome back to DONSLIFE. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining today. If you've ever wanted a budget-friendly, simple to use, small dash cam, this might be the one. This is made by Nextbase. It's called the PIQO 2K camera. It's an upgrade from their original version, which was 1080p. So this one's got higher resolution, but I'm no stranger to Nextbase. I've had their product for several years. I've purchased 3 over the years myself, the 422, upgraded to the 522, and eventually the 622. I'm currently using the 622 in my GMC Sierra with a rear camera that sits inside the cab so I can see everything that's going on, and I'm very happy with it. But bringing us back to the PIQO 2K, I'm excited about this one because it's just supposed to be simple and work well. So we're gonna find that out today. We're gonna look at all the features, we're gonna look at the app, and we're also going to use the Quick Connect kit. Yes, it's that easy. We're gonna connect with the OBD2 port, which is gonna give us parking mode and make this install a breeze. Let's go. Okay, so let's start with our unboxing. Don't cut yourself. All right, so this is our 12-volt power adapter, which we're not going to use in today's install because this wouldn't allow us to use parking mode because this would only come on and be live when the vehicle's turned on. So this will work to use the camera when the vehicle's on. We want to expand its features and use this kit here. And here's our mount. So this is a quick release mount. This will go on the windshield and then we can take the camera in and out. We have a pry tool here so we can tuck our cables away. So we'll probably use this. We have a QR code you can scan to get the app, which they want you to install first. So we'll do that right after the unboxing. Here's our camera, nice and tiny. That's it. It's a fraction of the size of my hand. I'm excited to check this out. Here's the key fob for the vehicle we're installing it in today. They're about the same size. We have a road safety club card. We have a nice sticker that says protected by Nextbase. And we have some cleaning elements so we can get that windshield clean for where we mount it. Again, the PIQO 2K is 1440p resolution. That's quite a bit more detail than 1080p. It's going to allow you to see more detail when it comes to signs as well as license plates. You also get a 140-degree wide-angle lens, a G sensor for impact detection, loop recording, and support for parking mode as long as you power it up the right way, which is what we'll do in today's video. Since we're installing this in my daughter's car, we'll install the app on her phone. So we'll just let that download quickly. Okay, app's ready. Now we will continue as a guest for now. Our dash cam is a Nextbase PIQO. Continue. And now we have to put the SD card into the camera. This is our card reader if we want to adapt it to a computer or a laptop. The card is now inserted. Next, we have to connect power. So we're going to install this now so we can get this camera powered up. So you probably noticed this is going to be a little bit short, so we do have to use the cable they provided, this USB-C cable, disconnect it from the 12-volt adapter, and then we simply plug it in to this end here, and now we have several feet of cable to feed it all the way to the camera. So let's go do our cable management first and tuck this cable away, and I'll show you just how easy it is. So this car here, we were able to put the top down, so that's going to make this install a little easier to view on your end. So before you run any wires, plan where the camera is going to be located and where your OBD2 port is. So our OBD2 port is right down here. So it's a simple connection like that, but I'm going to want this wire routed all the way up this pillar here, across the top, and then down somewhere around the rear view mirror. Because the camera's USB-C port is on this side here, we want to make sure the cable also comes down that side as well. So let's start running the cable. We're actually going to start from the top and work our way back down because we can hide the excess cable in behind this panel. So this panel just pops off. Many vehicles are going to be different, many are going to be similar. Then we want to take this weather stripping, pull it back. That'll give us access to get wires in behind some of the fabric and these plastics. And remember, we have that tuck tool that we can tuck wires up into the front area. So we're gonna use wipe number 1. I'm actually gonna put it in this area here. That way I can get it in and out of the backing plate, because you need a little bit of room to get the camera in and out. So it's gonna go in this area. So give this a little clean. Then they give you a drying wipe. Then you wanna take your mount and attach it to the camera. And then you wanna make sure there's room to be able to pull it off in the future. So it needs about that much room. So somewhere in here should be a good spot. Just test it here. There, yeah, I can get the camera in and out of that spot. Just enough room. Just firmly press it for about 10 seconds. There we go. So we'll put our cable in first, and then we're gonna tuck it in that little clasp that's there. See how that keeps the cable nice and neat? And then I'm gonna kind of tuck it up in here, and then I'm gonna gently pull this plastic down a little bit, just enough that I can squeeze the wire up in there. So really the only wire we see is this little bit channeled in right there. And I'm doing this with my fingers. But remember, we have this tool here, which can help with pushing this stuff back. It's nice because it has a little bit of a hook on it, so I can actually pull this down. And that way I know the cable is going in behind far enough. There. So I'm happy with that. Usually there's little clips here that you can pull things out. So what I want to do is I want to fish this through so I can grab it from the other side. Just be careful if you have an airbag like this one does, that you don't get your cable in front of the airbag. You can see the airbag here. I'm making sure that I'm around the airbag, but not in the airbag's deployment path. And now I'm coming right down here. So I've got all my cable right here. I'm gonna push this back. Okay, that is back. This is the normal gap right here. You can see the crease line from this weather stripping actually covers it perfectly. So we're not going to put that back up yet. We're going to make sure that all our cable here is out of the way and all the excessive cable is tied up. So I'm going to plug this into the OBD2 port right now. I'm going to plug in the end of my cable. Oh, the camera woke up. We'll redo all that in a moment. See this blue LED indicator? If it's flashing, it means the input's okay. If it's solid, it means the input and the output is okay. So we know we have the proper wiring in place. Now I'll take the provided zip ties and I will tie up all this cable so it's nice and neat and doesn't come unraveled. I'm just gonna tuck it up in here, out of harm's way. Make sure I can still see the blue indicator and the fuse if I need to get at it. But there's a really nice cavity here, so that's convenient. Now we'll reinstall the cover. And there's our nice clean install. I unplugged this for a second so I could demonstrate to you what it does when it powers up. Now we're going to go to the next step in the app, and we're going to pair it with the phone, with our app, and make sure everything's working. So we hold down this power button for 5 seconds. It turns blue for pairing. Follow the instructions. Should find it here. That's the one. That must be our hardwire kit. Pair. Your PIQO is now connected. We've mounted it already. Look, we're ahead of the game. We got all this stuff done. Cables managed. We are ready to go with the app. Let's do a firmware update. Make sure everything is up to date. It says there's one available. We'll do that first. Now we're connecting to the Wi-Fi network that the PIQO is broadcasting. So we're going to allow this. Let's just have a look at some of the features on the app. I'll give you a quick overview, but we have all of our dash cam settings right here, which you're gonna need because there's not really any buttons on the dash cam itself. So if we go into setup settings, we need to turn our smart parking on. Because we have the OBD2 port plug, which it mentions here, we can have this on and it should work properly. We'll set our speed units to kilometers per hour because we're in Canada, just like most of the rest of the world. We're going to turn our impact sensitivity to high. We'll demonstrate what that looks like later. We'll set our recording history to maximum, so it records as much as possible on the memory card. Our language is good with English. We have our video settings here. Our video quality, we have 3 options. We're going to leave it at 1440p because that's the most detail. 30 frames per second is fine. You can make it a little smoother, but less detail at 60 frames per second. And then for the smallest file size possible, you could do 1080p, 30 frames per second. We're gonna leave audio recording on. We're not gonna mess with the exposure. We'll see how it is with our recordings and our footage. We could adjust the brightness or the exposure level to get a better picture. Number plate, this allows you to put your license plate number overlaid onto the image that it's going to record. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. And then stamps is kind of along the same theme, except it's for all the other information. So you can see the stamps are already turned on for the other things like GPS, timestamp, model stamp for the model of the camera, and then the speed that you were going, that stamp. So those are all there, they're turned on. And we have dash cam information here. Now there's a couple other options this has. So as long as you're connected to your device with your phone and through the app and you have a cellular connection, you can use an emergency SOS function. This is a free trial that you have to start, and if you like it, you can continue using it. And then you have this thing that I've never heard before, but it's called Witness Mode Lite. And when I looked into it, you can actually use a voice command to your Nextbase camera, and it will reach out to any contacts that you have set up in your contact list to have them call you, maybe calm you down because there's a road rage incident, or maybe you just really need some support. This will just make it easy. It's not something that I've ever used or tried before, but this has it, so maybe that's a value to some people. We have our library here, which is going to be all of our footage that we've captured onto the card. So you do have to connect to the broadcasted Wi-Fi network that the camera's putting out to connect to those files. So we hit join right here. Now it's just synchronizing the files and it should populate the list. If you want to do this quicker, you can just take the micro SD card out, put it into the adapter that I showed you earlier during the unboxing, and go hook it up to your computer and download the footage. We can check everything that we've downloaded. I haven't done any of that yet. We have the option of saving things to the cloud. So again, if you're connected to the internet through your phone, through the app, you can save images to the cloud to retrieve them from a computer or anywhere else in the world. And then you have your ability to sign up with an Nextbase account and a number of other settings that I kind of went through already. But for now, we're just using it in completely free mode. We can record, we can use parking mode, and we can get all our footage. I want to make sure this is aimed properly. So we're going to go into the camera here. We're going to go to setup view. And this should give us a live picture of the camera's perspective, and we can twist it around and make some adjustments and have it aimed exactly like we want. So we got some grid lines there. Let's go full screen. And I don't really want to get too much of the hood, but I don't want to point to the sky either. So, you know, I think it's actually pretty good right there. I can kind of see each corner of the vehicle, so we'll stick with that. So on that note, I think we do need to get you some footage, get you some daytime footage, nighttime footage, see how this performs. But just before we do that, while we're in the garage here, I would like to try out parking mode and see if this G-Shock sensor really works. So when I bump the vehicle, as long as I bump it hard enough to trigger the G-Shock sensor, then it should record the footage and lock it for us to review later. So I'll just give it, you know, a nice little jolt here somewhere where I'm not going to damage it. Now hopefully you caught that. Good news, if you're worried about dead batteries, don't worry. This has an automatic cutoff. If it senses less than 11.6 volts, it will shut off power to the camera, preserving your battery for the next time you need to start it. For an entry-level dash cam, the PIQO 2K delivers surprisingly sharp footage. At 2560 by 440 pixels, it captures crystal clear details like plates and signs, giving you premium level clarity without the premium price tag. Even the G-Shock sensor was put to the test, capturing an incident that turned out to be a large dip in the road. Even in the rain, the PIQO 2K holds its own, delivering sharp, reliable footage when visibility drops and details matter most. Did you know the PIQO also has hands-free? Nexi voice control is used to start and stop recordings, turn on and off audio, and activate key features like Witness Mode Lite. The PIQO 2K features enhanced night vision that helps preserve critical details after dark, like headlights, road lines, and license plates. Even through an older windshield, the footage stays clear enough to capture what really matters. So this concludes my installation and my impressions of the PIQO 2K dash cam by Nextbase. You know, with loop recording, parking mode, and overall simplicity, I think this is a good budget dash camera. For $150 US at the time of recording this video, I think it's a bargain. Some of us just want a simple dash cam that works, and this fits the bill. So if you found this video helpful, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. We'll talk to you next time.